Hello and welcome back to another Idle Planet Miner free-to-play account video. This is Demon Ace, and today I wanted to take you step by step through what I do to set up my 12.5 million galaxy. Last video I said that there was no real strategy at this point, and that was somewhat disingenuous. I do want this series to be a more new player step-by-step guide through your account. So I did want to show what we're doing to set up our 12.5 million galaxy in the very, very beginning of the account. So this is going to be for people that it still takes more than 2 to 4 hours to reach 12.5 million value on their galaxy. This is going to be considered a very active playstyle. And I'm not saying that this is going to be the best and all be all method that you need to be doing every galaxy. This is what I've been doing. And just for people out there that may not have an idea of exactly what they're doing, if it's right, I will tell you that this early on, it truly is not a set in stone strategy. It's however you like to play and how you can get through it, but I figured I would go ahead and show you how I do it. So first thing we do is get Planet 1 unlocked. Obviously, we're going to be selling our copper ore immediately. It doesn't matter if we have stars on it or not. We're not saving anything. We need money to get through these first set of planets as quick as possible. And the way I like to do this is I have it set to ×5 right now. You unlock this after 2 or 3 galaxy cells. I think it's after the second one you get the ×5 option. If you don't have the ×5, just follow along. I like to get, so you see the cost was 150 right there. The next cost is 561. So we're going to wait on upgrading this anymore, and we're going to go ahead and unlock Planet 2 and start upgrading this one. We have iron now, so we're going to go ahead and auto sell all of that. And I'm going to upgrade Planet 1 again. Next cost is 561. Next planet cost is 500. So I'm going to go ahead and upgrade these planets up to where they cost as much as the next upgrade, kind of like our mothership rooms. Ship speed and cargo, you may not have to upgrade. It all depends on your mothership rooms, where they're at in their level. You keep an eye on the ore that you're mining. So it says like I have cargo 70, right? If I'm not hitting 70 ore and going above that, then there's no reason for me to upgrade ship speed or cargo. So next up is Planet 2, and we'll go ahead and get those. And then now the next upgrades I'm looking for cost more than 500. So now we can unlock Planet 3. And same thing, next planet is 1.25k, so we are going to get our upgrades where they cost, about 1,000 before we move on to the next planet. This is going a little quick for me, but that's going to be because my mothership rooms have been upgraded quite a bit. So if you are brand new to the game, this is going to take a bit of time and may not be going as quick for you. So, for example, Planet 2 here is level 11, costs 1.12k. That is still less than Planet 4 here. So there we go, we can upgrade that. And then everything else costs more than 1.25k. So we will be using that cash to unlock Planet 4 here. And again, on Planet 4, we will be auto selling the lead as soon as it comes in. Now I know that Planet 5 cost 5,000 cash to unlock. So same thing, we're going to be going through all these planets, upgrading them again, and until they cost 5,000 or more for the next upgrade. And then we'll move on to the next part. And we're doing all of this because the projects and smelting that we have to do, it takes a lot of time. And upgrading planets to get this ore coming in as quick as possible is going to be, in my opinion, the best way to get through this early game. Getting your mine rate up as high as you can is going to be quicker than unlocking the projects as soon as you can, getting as much cash income as possible. And of course, anytime an ad or a mine rate ad pops up, we do want to watch those. I'm going to go ahead and watch this one, but I won't put that in the video. And again, may have to use ship speed or upgrade ship speed and cargo a couple more times with all this. Just kind of depends on where you're currently at in your galaxy. This isn't going to be a live playthrough of the whole 10 million value galaxy. That'd be a 2-hour video. We just need to get you set up. Alright, so our 4 planets are upgraded. If you do have a probe, go ahead and just throw it on planet 1. It's the quickest planet for scans. And if you get lucky and get a mining speed bonus, then it's just more ore that you're mining. Alright, we have an asteroid here, but we don't have the project yet. We are going to wait until we have enough cash to upgrade to unlock planet 5. As soon as we do, we're going to turn off the auto sell on all these ores and start getting these projects unlocked. First one's the asteroid. We're going to hold off on getting that asteroid for just a second. We want to get the management first. And the reason for that, if you've seen any of my other videos, you know that asteroids are based on excuse me, if you've seen any of my other videos, you know that asteroids, their value, how much they give you, is based on your mine rate. So we want to make sure that's as high as possible before collecting them. And now that we have the smelter project unlocked, we need to get our telescope project unlocked. This part's going to take a second. We need to craft 3 copper bars, which is going to take 3,000 copper ore and quite a bit of iron ore. And we're gonna hold off for a minute, not selling anything, just letting everything collect until we can get telescope 1 unlocked. And I forgot to mention there, as soon as you get the manager project unlocked, make sure you just throw your managers on whatever planets you have, whatever managers you have. It doesn't matter if they're ship speed cargo, everything helps. Telescope 1's unlocked. We have enough cash to unlock planet 5. Alright, and at this point, let's take a look at our projects and see what we're going for next. Beacon is probably going to be the most important to go for next. If you didn't know, the beacon bonuses that you've collected, they do not apply to your galaxy until you unlock it. So beacon is the next most important project at this point, which requires a lot of iron ore. Meaning it costs 15,000 iron ore, and obviously we don't have that much right now. So we're not going to be selling any of this. What we can do is continue crafting copper bars, depending on where you're at. So I have, if we watch the last video, I unlocked the copper stars right here for free. So my copper ore is actually worth $2 instead of $1. Your copper bar is worth, I forget the base value, I think it's 1.47, something like that, K. So do a bit of a cost analysis. It costs 1,000 copper ore to make 1 copper bar. At the very beginning, that is 1,000 copper ore will give you $1,000, right? A copper bar for the same amount of ore will give you $1,400. So it would be better at the very beginning stage of the game to continue making copper bars and selling those to continue on with your upgrades. If you do have the space station upgrade unlocked for the copper ore stars, it's actually going to be better for you to just go ahead. This 1,000 copper ore that I'm using to smelt could actually just be turned into $2,000 instead of $1,700. So for me, it's going to be better if I just auto sell all the copper that's coming in. For you, could be the copper bars. Use your best judgment, do the math, figure out which is better. Okay, so just like in the beginning, we unlocked planet 5. Planet 6 costs 9,000 to unlock. So just like with the other planets, we're going to upgrade their stats. If they cost less than 9,000, we're going to go ahead and upgrade it. If it costs more than 9,000, then we're going to move on from that planet. And we're going to do that on planets 1 through 4 as well. So carry on with upgrading planets up to the cost of the next available planet. Watch the ads as they come in. Alright, so it is at this point that our planets can no longer be upgraded to match the cost of Planet 6 here. So you got two options. You can either wait until you have 9,000 cash, which is probably what I'm going to do. You can look at your ore here. We know that the next project we want is the beacon, so we are not going to touch iron. We are trying to save that as much as possible. In fact, we can go ahead and just have this unlocked if you have the cash for it, and go ahead and start smelting these iron bars as it becomes available. Lead is what we got from the asteroid a second ago. We do need lead coming up, but if we want to sell a good chunk of it to go ahead and get the 9K we want for Planet 6, you can do that. That's totally fine. Everything we're doing, upgrading these planets instead of saving the ore for the projects, is going to help us get through these projects quicker. I promise you. So upgrading planets is better than just waiting for the ore to become available from just the basic unlocking the planet at level 1, right? We do want to get these unlocked as soon as possible and upgraded as soon as possible for more ore. So if you're doing the times 5 along with me, we can actually take this down to times 1, and we can see that the next upgrade is less than 9,000 on all the planets, whereas the times 5 is more than 9,000. So if it's still taking you quite a bit of time to get enough money for the next planet, take your upgrade multiplier down to times 1 and just upgrade mine rate, ship speed, and cargo one level at a time. Okay, Planet 6 is unlocked. This is where we're getting our lead. Again, we're not trying to touch the lead if we can help it. It is okay if you need to go ahead and get some upgrades on the next few planets. We're about... Actually, iron's going pretty well for me right now. Very early on, it's going to, like, you'll smelt one iron bar, and then you'll have maybe 300 or 400 ore bulked up and ready for the next iron bar. So you have to wait for that 1,000 for it to start kicking in again. If you're waiting, it might be beneficial to sell some of this lead here and upgrade your planets that have are mining iron. We're trying to get these bars done as quick as possible. Another quick thing I forgot to mention was as soon as you unlock Planet 6 is when the market opens up. Be sure to check your market and see what is of higher value or lower value. So for example, if my copper here was to hit bad on the market and I was actually making less money from copper ore, then I would, instead of selling my copper ore right now, I would go back to converting the copper ore to copper bars and alleviate that downfall. Vice versa, if the copper bar ended up hitting high on the market and being worth more than it usually is, then I would then again switch to smelting copper bars instead of just selling the ore. But alright, so we have obtained enough iron bars to craft the beacon. We're going to research that as quick as possible, and I should have showcased it, but you can test this on your own. You can see that your mine rate doesn't actually get affected by the beacon until you unlock it. As soon as you do, then your mine rates should go up if you've been putting points into it properly. Next item we're going to be looking for is the crafter for two reasons. One, it still just takes iron bars and lead. At this point, we haven't been touching our lead, or if you have, you should be at least close to the 5,000 lead necessary for it, and we are still just crafting iron bars. We get the crafter next because we do want to craft at least copper wire for the rover. And the final reason is we need to unlock Planet 7 to be able to start getting the silica here for Telescope 2. And even at my point, go ahead and unlock it now. Even at my point, this this takes a while. This does not put out 20% mine rate for silica on this planet. Takes quite a while to hit that 500. So we're going to unlock these two other projects first while we're waiting for silica to accumulate. In the meantime, while we're waiting on this planet uh, to output the silica that we need, same strategy. Go back to your other planets, upgrade them as you can. At this point, we're not upgrading our planets to a certain cash value on the level to unlock the next planet. We are now just going through our planets and we are looking to see which one costs the least to upgrade next, and that's going to be our strategy moving forward is upgrading planets based on. So planet 6 here costs the least to upgrade next. We're going to go ahead and upgrade it now and then go back through, and then the next one not upgraded would be planet 3 costs the least amount to upgrade next, and that's how we're going to be moving forward. Just whichever one costs the least, that's the one you're upgrading. Again, don't fall short on your ads or your asteroids. And we will get the crafter now. Alright, so we need 5 lead bars, 500 silica. We're going to go ahead and smelt those lead bars now. We no longer need any iron, so we're going to come back over here and auto sell the iron. This is just to get extra cash for upgrading our planets. Unfortunately, that market hit on silica, but as soon as we can start selling it, that's going to be great. And we're going to stop selling copper, because in order to make copper wire, we need 5 copper bars. So a total of 50 copper bars in order to unlock the rover project here. We want to make sure we get that done. So stop selling your copper. Wait until the lead is finished smelting for the 5 bars, and then start smelting your copper bars. Upgrade planets in the meantime. Alright, like I said, as soon as we have our 5 lead bars smelted, I actually smelted a little bit more. I can actually sell these for some extra cash. These are a great source of cash if you can get there. We're doing copper bars next, and we can go ahead and auto sell our lead for now, because again, we are just focusing on upgrading planets and smelting copper for this next part while we wait for telescope 2 to unlock. So carry on the tradition, upgrade your planets, smelt copper. If you are at the point in your initial galaxy setup, your initial account start, where you are making more ore than you're smelting, I am making more than 1,000 ore in the time that it takes to craft or smelt 1 copper bar. If you are to that point and you want to spend the 50k to unlock the next smelter, don't be afraid to do so. It's a decent investment, and eventually we will start smelting more than 1 bar, 1 type of bar, I guess I should say. So if you want to do that just to help speed things up along like this, that's perfectly fine. Don't be afraid to spend that 50k here. If you are to that point, if you are smelting copper bars and by the time 1 gets done, you are down to 900 copper ore, which means you have to wait for another 100 copper ore to start smelting the next one. I do not recommend purchasing this because it's going to be sitting here doing nothing. But yeah, if you're to the point where I'm at and your mine rate's high enough, you're getting more copper ore than you can smelt, don't be afraid to drop that 50k and go ahead and get through this as quick as possible. We can go ahead and start, once you have 5 or more copper bars smelted, go ahead and start crafting your copper wire. And again, just waiting for silica. I still don't have the silica. Almost there. Waiting for silica to unlock telescope 2. There it is. Alright, and now so we can continue on the tradition of upgrading planets and unlocking next set of planets here. 25k for planet 8. You can do the method we were doing earlier and get all of your other planets up to where it cost about that much. 28k for mine rate on the next one. Or just save up, let your copper wire craft, save up, and get the planet as it becomes available. Up to you. I want to go ahead and touch on what I was talking about earlier with the market. God. We're going to go ahead and unlock silicone bars to show you that crafting one silicon bar costs 1,000 silica ore, and it will give me $15,000. But because I hit the market boost, selling that silica ore now, the same 1,000 silica ore will give me $24,000 instead of the 15,000. Or I believe it's actually 12,000. I have 1 star on it, so it's a little bit less than this. Basically, you should be making double the cash from just straight up selling the silica ore now instead of waiting to smelt it. So that's an example of how the market can change your strategy. We now have enough to unlock the rover. This doesn't do anything to boost the value of the galaxy. It just is something you want to keep an eye on and never have idle. You want this rover to always be doing something in order for you to get the dark matter and boost and whatever else you happen to find from the rover. That is why we're unlocking it in all of our galaxies, is just to make sure. Now, if I was being super active today and this takes, I see that this takes 10 hours. Stutter. If I was being super active today and I'm seeing that this takes 10 hours to make or to complete, then probably wouldn't bother unlocking it and going through the next galaxy as soon as I can. But it's a good habit to go ahead and unlock the rover in every galaxy just to make sure that it's not going to be completed on your current galaxy, and you can go ahead and refresh it, start the next rover scan. So at this point in the galaxy, we are continuing the loop of upgrading the cheapest planet, unlocking up to planet 10, and getting mine rate up on the planets as high as we can in order to mine more ore, therefore make more money. The only other project I can recommend at this point is Telescope 3. You can see it takes 10 nails and 15 silicon bars. That's going to be 15,000 silica ore, which takes quite a bit to get to. Getting 8 per second right here. So it's going to take quite a bit to get to. Although we do have enough time to do it, we're not even halfway there to 10 million yet. Iron nails cost 5 iron bars to craft one, so need 10 of them. That's 50 iron bars. That's going to take quite a bit of time as well. So I'm going to leave that up to you. Kind of depends on how active you are. If you want to go for Telescope 3, you definitely have enough time to do it within one galaxy. You're not going to hit 10, 12 million before you have enough resources to craft Telescope 3. So if you want to unlock it, to try to speed things up more towards the end, that is completely fine. It's valid and not a bad idea. I have not been doing it. I have been sticking with planets 1 through 10, mostly for the most part, and just upgrading these as much as I can to get the mine rate up higher. More ore coming in means more money. And you may be saying, we did all this setup and this took, an hour, maybe even 2 hours to get to planet 10 here, and we're not even halfway there. And that's true. The early game is very grindy. It takes a long while to get through. The key to getting through it, I would say, is active play. You want to be hitting your ad rewards as soon as they come up. Should be about every 6 minutes an ad reward comes up. You want to be doing that, upgrading your planets as soon as you have enough cash to do so. And we can be smelting different types of ore at this point. So copper, again, for me, my resource stars mean that the ore is more valuable than the bar. So I would be selling the copper ore. Same thing with the iron. But lead, 4,800 for 1,000 lead right now versus 6,000. if I were to convert that into a lead bar. So lead is something I can smelt and end up getting more value out of. That's go ahead and auto sell the bar. That's one thing we can do is start looking at which ore would be most valuable to convert into a bar and smelt it. It takes a lot of time. Very grindy game in the early game, especially. I do recommend active play if you can. If you can't, then this galaxy, I'm able to set up in a couple hours, usually before work, and leave the game running while I'm at work. Come home, then I'm ready to do the next galaxy with maybe a little couple extra credits over what we would typically get. Um, But just keep in mind that the more that the galaxy progresses, the quicker it gets. So right now we're at 1 million. We spent an hour on it. By the time we get through the next hour, we'll probably be at around 5 to 7 million. So it is an exponential growth. The more you upgrade your planets, the more ore comes in, the more cash you're making. The more cash you're making, the more your galaxy value goes up. And the more your galaxy value goes up, the more that these ad rewards are worth. So it all just keeps building on itself. And yeah, that's going to do it for the very, very early stages of the 10, 12.5 million galaxy setup. I do hope this helped. Yeah, it's going to take a long time to get through this stage, but you should see your time start to go down if you're following the guides with me. We are now at the point where yeah, it took an hour to get to 1 million, but at about 2 hours, we should be about ready to sell a 10 to 12.5 million value galaxy. Whereas when on the very first galaxy we started, it took about 8 to 10 hours. So the time it goes down. It takes a lot of time to do it, but you will see some progress if you stick with it. And active play is definitely the quickest. Make sure you're upgrading your mothership rooms. The mine rate, definitely the most important one early on. Ship speed and cargo are going to help you not need to upgrade the ship speed and cargo on the planet near as much. I didn't need to upgrade these as much as I did, and I could have saved a couple $1,000s there to upgrade mine rate more on some other planet. So follow with the guides. I did just want to show you my process through setting up a new galaxy and getting it ready to speed through as fast as I can to start the next galaxy. And that is this game. If you followed along, made it this far, thank you very much. I don't script these videos, so hopefully this was coherent and easy to follow. I do hope this helps someone out there that is starting the game and feels a little lost and overwhelmed. It's a lot, but it is worth it in the end if you can make it through these checkpoints in the game. So that's going to do it for this one. When we do another setup like this, it's going to be when we get the 10 million galaxy down below an hour. So in this first hour, we want to be hitting $10 million. It's going to take quite a bit of time. Follow along with the guides and the weekly progress reports on this account, and you should get there in no time. Thank you all very much for watching and for the support. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and have a great day.